Pulau Pinang is located in the northwest coastline of Peninsular Malaysia. The state consisted of Penang Island, Seberang Perai, and abundant small islets. The history of Pulau Pinang started off with the sailing of Ragam, a famous sea rover which commuted from Lingga to Kedah for trade. On his way to Kedah, Ragam noticed an isolated island nearby and named it Pulau K1 or Single Island. The name Pulau K1 was retained until the start of betel nut palm cultivation by the British, when the island was named Pulau Pinang. Pulau Pinang is geographically divided into two major parts, namely Penang Island and Seberang Perai by the Penang Straits. In the 1800s, Seberang Perai was a woodland area which evolved into an agriculture hub. This was due to many swamps and forests were suitable to be converted into agricultural land. Kampung Kubang Semang is one of the Malay settlements in Seberang Perai. The name Kubang Semang was based on two words which have different meanings. The word Kubang means a puddle in a paddy field, where a place for buffalo to bathe, or the act of wallowing, while Semang is the name of an indigenous tribe that lived in Malaysia. The story behind the name was because the area was home to these Semangs. Therefore, most of them usually took their bath and wallows in the Kubang Semang River. Therefore, when people asked the villagers of their origins, they would answer the place where the Semang wallows, hence the name Kubang Semang. Kubang Semang was opened by two Muslims from Patani, Tok Sureh and Tok Nyan. Majority of the villagers of Kubang Semang with the title 1 are their descendants from Patani. The majority population of the place are Malays, with Chinese and Indian minorities. Trading activities in Seberang Perai had attracted many Muslim traders from Patani, Persia, and India in the 12th century. This marked the arrival of Islam in Seberang Perai. Some of the traders resided in Seberang Perai, leading to the need of place for religious activities such as masjid, madrasahs, or pondoks. The development of pondok institutions in Seberang Perai was believed to begin in 1875 through the efforts of Sheikh Jalaluddin bin Muhammad Yusra Al-Fatani, who founded Pondok Penanti and Pondok Sheikh Zainal Abidin Al-Fatani in Sungai Dua. His contributions were consequential, especially to the early development of Islamic education in Seberang Perai. The emergence of Madrasah in Kubang Semang was highly influenced by the need for religious institutions by the locals. The first madrasah built in the area was Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib following his return from Mecca. Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib, also known as Madrasah Haji Mat Taib, was built in 1910 on a piece of 1.79-acre land in Kampung Kubang Semang. The madrasah was the first Islamic institution in Kubang Semang. This land is titled as a private property owned by Haji Mahmud Ali. It was then passed down through his generations, descended first to his son, Haji Mahmud Taib. The land was transferred to his son, Haji Muhammad, after the demise of Haji Mahmud Taib. The land is now owned by Haji Muhammad's adopted daughter, Siti Rahmah, but managed by the late Haji Ismail bin Mat Zain and Encik Ihsan Ismail. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib originally functioned as a classroom, teaching Quranic lessons to women in the village initiated by the mother of Tuan Haji Mahmud Taib. Upon the return of Haji Mahmud Taib, the madrasah functioned as a madrasah for children coming from affluent families. The madrasah ceased operation after the death of Tuan Haji Mahmud Taib as there were no one to continue his work. The surau was used as a resting place for Haji Muhammad during the day where he would pray and recite Al-Quran. Some of the pondoks were brought back by the students and some were left abandoned and damaged. What's left of madrasah were the surau and the house of Tok Guru. Haji Muhammad passed away between 1979 and 1980. Then, Haji Ismail had revived the usage of the surau. The surau was periodically used for religious activities such as Tarawih prayers during the holy month of Ramadan and 1 month celebration of Isra Miraj in the month of Rajab. These religious activities were led by an ulama from Kulim Kedah called Pak Nom. The surau was in use until the year 2010. The features of surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib reflects the traditional Malay architectural style with the gabled roof, decorated wall panels, built on stilts above the ground and large openings. The surau is positioned directly on brick stumps, suggesting an influence from southern Thailand or Patani. The concrete staircases were plastered. A review on Malay vernacular dwellings in northern states of Malaysia do not have concrete staircase. However, the use of concrete staircases can be found in southern Thailand. The clay roof tiles in Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is another influence of southern Thailand architecture, similar to the clay tiles used in Masjid Tua Langgar Kota Baru, Kelantan, which were brought by Patani merchants. In 1910, the surau was commissioned by Tuan Haji Mahmud Ali and constructed by a well-known master builder named Tuan Haji Sufyan bin Haji Abdul Wahab and his two sons, Zainal Abidin and Ismail. The surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib originally functioned as a tajweed class. In 1920, after the return of Tuan Haji Mahmud Taib from Mecca, the whole area was transformed into a madrasah. Many students coming from affluent families from as far as Selangor and Indonesia came to Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib to become a student. It also functioned as a stopover for people going to Mecca to perform Hajj.
Selepas arwah Haji Muhammad meninggal, memang tak ada siapa lah dah. Yang dia meninggal tahun 79 dah, Mak.
Tak ingat pun. Lepas tu makcik panggil perempuan baca ni, mengajak tajwid. Panggil guru perempuan, mengajak tajwid untuk perempuan aja.
Kira lepas dia meninggal.
Tapi kalau hari puasa, buat tarawih kat situ.
Ayah buat itu inisiatif ayah lah.
In 1925, Tuan Haji Mahmud Taib passed away. This affected the learning process of this madrasah since there were no tuk gurus to replace him. The students were forced to go back to their hometown, while some had furthered their studies in Mecca. In 1931, only few pondoks were left because most of it collapsed, while some were brought back by the students to their hometown after the demise of Tuan Haji Mahmud Taib. In the year 1940, all the pondoks collapsed. In 1987, some maintenance work were done by Encik Ismail to repair and upgrade worn-out parts of the madrasah. Metal railings were added to aid elderlies going into the madrasah. Metal roof was also added to protect the anjung and porch area from rain. In the year 2000, due to the damages in the ceiling, a collaboration between University Science Malaysia and an architect from Germany had replaced the ceiling with kelarai, a bamboo weaving technique. The kelarai motif was adapted from baling Kedah. Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib uses 4 materials in its construction, namely timber, bricks, concrete, and clay tiles. Timber was used extensively throughout the surau for both structural and non-structural components of the building. These structural members were joined together using a traditional method of mortise and tenons. Concrete were used for staircases leading to the madrasah. Bricks and plasters were used in the construction of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib for the stumps. This enhanced the look of the whole building as the white finish of the plaster complemented the dark color of the wood. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib has an open plan consisting of 4 major pieces, including the anjung, mihrab, prayer hall, and an ablution area. The spaces in this madrasah are arranged in a linear organization starting with the anjung and followed by the prayer hall and an ablution area. The mihrab is a space that protrudes from the prayer hall at its central axis. The total built-up area of this madrasah is dominated by the prayer hall, emphasizing its importance. The prayer hall can accommodate 6 saf or 60 packs during one session of congregational prayers. Due to the open planning, the circulation within the madrasah is clear and easy, ensuring smooth flow of the movement by devotees. The prayer hall of Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is rectangular in plan, elongated towards the Qibla. There is only one column in the center, a tiang seri of the prayer hall, making the space almost an uninterrupted space. The area was divided into 2 areas for male and female worshippers. The floor of the prayer hall is made of beautiful timber strips and remained to be in its original form. The roof of the prayer hall is covered by ceilings made out of kalarai. The plainness of the space is balanced by delicate carvings on the ventilation and window panels and the kalarai ceiling. The mihrab in Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is rectangular in plan and richly adorned with delicate carvings of floral motifs on the ventilation and window panels. The intricate carvings with an oval 2-colored opaque window glass, red on the inside and blue on the outside at both sides of the front wall emphasized the importance of the mihrab. The anjung of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is attached with the entrance that leads directly towards the main prayer hall. The ablution area of Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is located at the right side of the surau, raised from the ground. Its location close to the entrance leading to the prayer hall provided convenience to worshippers. A kolah was constructed to contain the water for ablution. It was made out of concrete. The water contained in the kolah were taken from the well. The ablution area can be accessed through steps at the west and east side. The ablution area is open at all sides and covered by a separate roof with kalarai ceiling similar to the prayer hall. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib utilizes a structural system that transfers load through interconnected structural components, which includes the columns and beams. The horizontal and vertical components are connected to each other using the traditional mortise and tenon methods, reflecting the indigenous traditional Malay architecture. Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib were positioned on stumps to protect the timber building from the damp soil and also from animals. The beams of the surau rest directly on the stumps. There are 14 square stumps made out of bricks and plastered. The stumps are of the same size, which are 620 mm by 620 mm with 1295 mm height. The beam is rectangular in shape with size of 150 mm by 140 mm. The beams in Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib directly rest on the stump to support the load from the floor joist. The floor of the surau are made out of timber. The flooring made out of timber planks lies across the floor joist. There are 13 columns supporting the surau, 12 columns at the perimeter walls of the surau, and a column in the middle of the prayer hall which constitutes the tiang seri. All the columns are square in dimension of 140 by 140 mm, except for the tiang seri that is made out of 4 different sections and shapes. The treatment of the tiang seri indicates its importance. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib uses the cable roof, or better known as Bumbung Perabung Lima. The roof consisted of rafters that sits on the beams. The rafters in this madrasah are supported by timber bracings, connected using bolt and nut. Purlins were placed on top of these rafters to support the batons. V-shaped red clay roof tiles were then placed on top of the batons. Later in the years, the roof is extended with zinc roof to provide better protection from rain. The wall panels used a joint laid in a vertical manner between the timber strips. The connection enables the panels to be fixed without the use of nails. The timber panels were installed after the wall jammed and the wall frame were positioned horizontally on the floor level. The wall panels in Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib are made of durable hardwood called cengal. Cengal is known for its strength and can withstand humid weather and easily maintained. The timber walls remain in good condition throughout the years. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib has 3 doors located at both entrances and one at the east wall of the surau. The door located closer to the east wall of the surau allowed maximum usage of the spaces and minimized circulation. There are 3 types of windows in the Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib. The windows were classified into double casement with louvers, and single casement window finished with dual-colored glass. It allows natural light and wind into the building while also giving a vista from the inside. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is filled with intricate carvings that adorn its perimeter walls. The various carving motifs hold significant meanings to the madrasah apart from enhancing its aesthetics. The Tiang Seri, the main column of Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib, is located at the center of the prayer hall. The intricate carvings on the Tiang Seri emphasize the importance of this column. The carving represent cosmological symbolisms and meanings. The head and body of this Tiang Seri is carved with lotus motif that represents the sacred religion of Islam, as lotus was once considered the symbol of Islamic reign during the Malay Sultanate era. Bunga Roda is a semicircular carving on ventilation panels which are often used in Malay traditional houses. It is usually located on top of doors or significant windows in a building to emphasize it. The Bunga Roda that adorn the back door is finished with carvings of a moon and a star in a crest form, symbolizing Islam in line with the function of the madrasah, which is to spread Islamic teachings. The Bunga Roda is further adorned with carvings of Daun Bayam Peraksi. The Daun Patah panel was said to be the trademark of the wood carver, Haji Muhammad Sufyan bin Abdul Wahab. The carvings featured 3 flowers put together with 4 leaves, with 2 of them being the Daun Patah. It was made with the embossed or better known as the Tebuk Timbul technique. The wall panels in the mihrab has various combination of carvings of translucent, Tebuk Tembus and embossed, Tembuk Timbul carvings. Among the motifs used are the Bunga Pepulut motif, which decorated the ventilation and window panels. The motif of Bunga Telepok, water lily, Bunga Melo, jasmine, and Daun Sesayap are used to decorate the wall panels and Bunga Roda. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib may not have been used for a very long time, but it has served its purpose as a place of worship and dissemination of Islamic knowledge. The beautiful surau provides a peaceful place for all the purpose it served and have benefited many people. Surau of Madrasah Haji Mahmud Taib is the essence of Islamic belief and Malay culture. The surau is an illustration of integration of religious belief, culture, and other modifying factors such as climate, geography, material, and construction, resulted in an architecture that is not only exquisite but also functional and lasting. The architecture of the surau is modest, but the intricate carvings throughout the surau exemplify the sophistication of the unpretentious traditional Malay architecture.